If someone told you that your lunch could talk to your DNA, you might think they've spent too much time chewing on conspiracy theories or kale. But in the world of nutritional epigenetics, food really does have something to say to your genome. And increasingly, the message is this: you don't have to age on schedule. The idea that diet can influence not just how we feel today, but how fast we biologically age tomorrow, is moving from wishful thinking to rigorous science. And the medium of this molecular conversation? Epigenetics. Let's unpack this without needing a PhD or a blender. Your DNA is like a massive recipe book filled with every instruction your body could ever need. But just like any good cookbook, not all the recipes are being used at once. Some are bookmarked, some are ignored, and some are stuck together with peanut butter. That's where epigenetic markers come in, chemical tags like methyl groups that stick to your DNA and tell your cells which genes to turn on or off. It's gene expression, not gene editing. And unlike your actual DNA, these epigenetic markers are highly dynamic, influenced by sleep, stress, exercise, and yes, what you eat. So can food really rewrite your DNA's to-do list? Evidence suggests yes. Certain nutrients and bioactive compounds can influence DNA methylation, histone modifications, and microRNA expression, the trifecta of epigenetic regulation. When you feed your body the right stuff, you may not be changing the words in your genome, but you're definitely changing the tone, the pace, and the playlist. Take polyphenol, for instance. These plant-based compounds found in berries, tea, dark chocolate, and red wine are like the gossip columnists of the nutritional world. They're always in the middle of something. Polyphenol like EGCG from green tea and resveratrol from grapes have been shown to modulate DNA methylation patterns and histone activity, influencing everything from inflammation to tumor suppression. They don't just protect cells from oxidative stress. They may actually remind your genome to stay youthful, like a gentle molecular nudge saying, "Hey, let's not retire the repair genes just yet." Then there are fatty acids, especially omega-3s and other unsaturated fats, which do more than lower cholesterol. They can actually help regulate gene expression through epigenetic pathways. Some studies show that DHA and EPA can influence methylation patterns in genes related to inflammation and aging, potentially slowing down the cellular clock. In other words, they're not just heart-friendly, they might also be methylation-friendly. Micronutrients also step into the spotlight here, particularly folate, B12, choline, and zinc, which are key players in 1-carbon metabolism, the biochemical engine that generates the methyl groups used in DNA methylation. If you're low on these, your body's epigenetic machinery can start to sputter. It's like trying to update your software with 2% battery. Not ideal. On the flip side, a nutrient-dense diet rich in leafy greens, legumes, nuts, and whole grains may give your DNA the fuel it needs to run a tighter ship. And here's where it gets really interesting. Studies using epigenetic clocks, tools that estimate biological age based on DNA methylation patterns, have shown that dietary changes can actually reverse biological aging markers. In a small but groundbreaking 2021 clinical trial, participants who followed an 8-week diet high in plant-based foods, low in processed carbs, and rich in methyl donors and polyphenol shaved an average of 3.23 years off their biological age. No time machines. No cryo chambers. Just food, movement, and some thoughtful stress reduction. Science is starting to sound a lot like grandma's advice, but with better footnotes. So, where does that leave us? If food can dial genes up or down, influence inflammation, regulate metabolism, and even impact cellular senescence, then the plate becomes a remote control for your DNA. Of course, the picture is still complex. Everyone's epigenome is a little different, shaped by genetics, environment, history, and possibly that regrettable college diet. And no, eating blueberries won't magically turn back the clock if everything else is chaos. But a strategic, nutrient-rich, minimally inflammatory diet seems to give your biology the best possible odds. For those in the field of science communication or research, the implications are thrilling. What specific combinations of foods optimize epigenetic rejuvenation? Can personalized epigenetic diets be crafted using real-time biological age tests? How do different eating patterns, like intermittent fasting or the Mediterranean diet, compare in their effects on methylation and gene expression? Could we one day use food like software updates for our DNA? Until then, it's safe to say your next meal is more than fuel. It's a subtle, tasty message to your genes. Make it colorful, make it diverse, and maybe, just maybe, you'll convince your cells to act their age. Or better yet, a few years younger.